Christianity, the most practiced religion on earth, began with the life of Jesus Christ, a Jew who lived in the Roman province of Judea. His resurrection and divinity are matters of faith, but his existence and death by crucifixion around 30 AD are widely accepted as historical fact. Christianity's early spread is credited to a small group of loyal followers, the Apostles. They are joined around 36 AD by Paul, who has a vision of Christ while traveling to Damascus. Paul makes it his life's mission to spread the gospel, or good news, of Christ's death and resurrection. He is extremely successful, winning Christian converts around the Mediterranean and as far west as Italy. According to tradition, the Apostle Mark establishes a church in Alexandria around 42 AD, the origin of today's Coptic Orthodox Church. Also according to tradition, in 52 AD, Thomas the Apostle arrives in India and establishes several small Christian communities. Most historians question this because there is little evidence. Early missionaries such as Paul successfully spread Christianity across the Roman Empire in the 1st century AD. Christian communities are recorded from North Africa to Italy. By 100 AD, the 4 Gospels that make up the Bible's New Testament are complete. They form the foundation of Christianity to this present day. Christianity continues to spread in the Roman Empire and among its neighbors. Around 301, Armenian king Tiridates III converts to Christianity and declares it the state religion, making Armenia the world's oldest Christian country. Christians face persecution across the Roman Empire, where emperors are considered divine. But in 312, according to Christian writers, Roman Emperor Constantine experiences a Christian vision just before the Battle of Milvian Bridge. The following year, he passes the Edict of Milan, legalizing Christianity across the Roman Empire. In 325, he calls the Council of Nicaea, the first of many formal church meetings meant to settle religious disagreements. About 300 bishops attend the council, showing Christianity's early growth and organization. The council creates the Nicene Creed, a statement of Christian faith still used today. Even so, Christianity is divided, and many groups and beliefs develop. Most arguments focus on the exact nature of Christ and his relationship to God and the Trinity. Around 330, Christianity spreads south into Africa. King Izana declares Christianity the official religion of Aksum in the Horn of Africa. This is the beginning of today's Ethiopian Church, one of the oldest in the world. In 380, Emperor Theodosius passes the first Roman law to define official Christian belief. Christianity is on its way to becoming the state religion of the Roman Empire. Across its lands, Christians attack old temples, destroying some and turning others into churches. Later emperors ban the worship of the old gods and persecute their followers, who become known as pagans, a negative term meaning backward and inferior. The so-called barbarian tribes, who overrun much of the Western Roman Empire, Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Vandals, also convert to Christianity, even if at first they follow the different belief of Arianism. Around 405, St. Jerome completes a new Latin translation of the Bible, which becomes known as the Vulgate. It becomes the official Bible text of the Catholic Church and remains the basis of the Catholic Bible to this day. Over the next 2 centuries, missionaries, at great personal risk, work hard to convert pagan communities and their rulers. The conversion of an important ruler becomes a key strategy, often leading to the conversion of entire kingdoms. Christianity spreads throughout Western Europe, even as the Western Roman Empire falls. Around 432, St. Patrick travels to Ireland to begin converting the Irish people. In 508, Clovis, king of the Franks, converts, completing the conversion of Gaul. In 563, Columba travels from Ireland to western Scotland, building a monastery on the island of Iona, one of the oldest in Western Europe. In 589, Visigoth, King Richard rejects Arianism and converts his entire kingdom to Catholicism. In 597, Pope Gregory sends St. Augustine to Britain. He converts King Ethelbert of Kent, beginning the conversion of the English. In 635, Alepen becomes the first known Christian missionary to reach China. Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty issues an order allowing Christianity to spread. Missionaries build churches and translate Christian texts into Chinese. Christian teachings mix with existing traditions, using Taoist and Buddhist words. Meanwhile, Arab armies, announcing the new faith of Islam, conquer much of the Middle East and North Africa, and take control of Christianity's holiest places in Jerusalem. By 720, Muslim conquests reach as far as the Iberian Peninsula. However, most Islamic rulers allow Christianity in their lands, and although treated as second-class subjects, Christian communities survive. Medieval Europe has now broken into many kingdoms. Frankish King Charlemagne extends his rule across Francia, Bavaria, Saxony, and northern Spain. Wherever he conquers, he converts new subjects to Christianity, often by force. In 800, he is crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. The Crusade, first in a line that lasts 1,000 years. Christianity continues to spread north and east, helped by more royal conversions. In 965, King Harald Bluetooth of Denmark, followed by Duke Mieszko and Poland's leading nobles. Vladimir the Great, Grand Prince of Kiev, seen as the founder of Christianity in Ukraine and Russia. King Olaf Tryggvason of Norway, who sends missionaries to Iceland and Greenland. King Stephen of Hungary, and King Olaf Skotkonung of Sweden, whose attempt to convert pagans meets strong resistance. In 1054, tensions between the Greek Eastern Church, led by the Patriarch in Constantinople, and the Latin Western Church, led by the Pope in Rome, cause a split, known as the Great Schism. The result is the creation of the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church. The Eastern Roman or Byzantine Empire faces serious attacks from the Seljuk Turks. So in 1095, Pope Urban II calls for a crusade to help the Byzantine Empire and take back the Holy Land for Christians. He promises forgiveness of sins to those who join, and Catholic Christians sign up in large numbers. The success of the First Crusade leads to the creation of several Christian states in the Levant, but within 200 years, all of them fall to Muslim neighbors. Christian rulers have more success in Iberia, pushing back the Muslim conquests of the 8th century. In Northern Europe, there are crusades against pagans in the Baltic and Finland. Meanwhile, Christianity continues to grow in the East. Papal messenger John of Montecorvino travels through Armenia, Persia, and India to reach China, where in 1294 he becomes the first bishop of what will later be called Beijing. In 1386, Grand Duke Jogaila, the last pagan ruler of Lithuania, is baptized and begins converting his people. In 1453, the Ottoman Turks capture Constantinople, the center of the Eastern Orthodox Church. Constantinople had been called the New Rome. With its fall, the Russian Orthodox Church claims Moscow as the Third Rome, with a duty to protect all Orthodox Christians. The Age of Discovery, marked by great sea voyages, sees Western European powers carry Christianity to many distant lands. In 1482, a Portuguese ship reaches the Kingdom of Congo. 9 years later, its ruler Nzinga a Nkuwu converts to Christianity, along with many nobles. The king later leaves his Catholic faith, but Christianity remains Congo's state religion. In 1492, Catholic rulers defeat the last Islamic rulers in Spain, in the Emirate of Granada. The Christian reconquest of Iberia, the Reconquista, is complete. That same year, Christopher Columbus reaches the Americas. It is a moment of great importance for the spread of Christianity. More sea voyages by Europeans will open the way for colonization and conversion of this new world. In 1493, Pope Alexander VI issues a papal order, giving Spain the right to claim newly discovered lands in South America. The order urges that the Christian religion be lifted up and spread everywhere, and that non-Christian nations be defeated and brought to the faith. The next year, in the Treaty of Tordesillas, Spain and Portugal agreed to divide the New World between them, drawing a line on the map. Spain gets everything to the west, Portugal everything to the east, and wherever Spanish and Portuguese expeditions go, Christian missionaries follow. Across what becomes New Spain, the Spanish force Roman Catholicism, with forced conversions of native peoples and attempts to remove native religions. The same thing happens further south in Peru and in the Portuguese colonies in Brazil. This time also marks the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade, as Europeans transport enslaved Africans to the Americas as forced labor. Christianity spreads in West Africa as a result of the slave trade, and by the 16th century, Portuguese missionaries have created Christian communities along the coast. Meanwhile, in Europe, there is another major split in Christianity. In 1517, German priest Martin Luther begins a strong attack on what he sees as the corrupt practices of the Roman Catholic Church. His actions start the Protestant Reformation. Protestant calls for reform spread quickly, helped by Gutenberg's new printing press. They are supported by several European rulers. For both political and religious reasons, Protestantism takes hold in Northern Europe. In 1534, English King Henry VIII breaks away from Rome and makes himself head of the Church of England. From the beginning, Protestantism is divided into many different groups and movements, from Calvinists and Lutherans to Baptists, Anabaptists, Moravian Brethren, Anglicans, and Presbyterians. Yet Catholicism remains the largest branch of Christianity. It now spreads to Southeast Asia, alongside Portuguese and Spanish trade. Missionary Francis Xavier travels across Asia as a representative of the Portuguese Empire. He arrives in Goa in 1542, sails to Portuguese bases in Indonesia in 1545, and reaches Japan in 1549, where Christianity gains many followers. In 1565, the Philippines becomes a Spanish colony and a center for European trade. Catholic missionaries make sure Christianity soon becomes the main religion. In the early 1600s, Protestants from England and the Netherlands create colonies along the North American coast. Many are Puritans seeking religious freedom and the chance to build ideal Christian communities. Missionary John Eliot reaches out to native tribes in Massachusetts, and by 1663, he prints a Bible in their own language. But conversion efforts have limited success. In the centuries ahead, it is the spread of European settlers that carries Christianity across the North American continent. By the end of the 1700s, Europeans have firmly established Christianity across the Americas. In both Britain and the future United States, this century sees several waves of religious revival, known as the Great Awakenings. These lead to the rise of the modern evangelical movement, with its focus on Scripture and personal salvation. In the height of European imperialism, Christianity travels to the last corners of the globe alongside European settlers and missionaries. In 1788, Christianity arrives in Australia with the first British prison colony, the London Missionary Society sends its first missionaries to eastern Polynesia in 1797. Missionary work is mainly responsible for Christianity's spread across the islands of the South Pacific. Christianity then reaches New Zealand, where missionary Samuel Marsden preaches the first Christian sermon in 1814. Christian missionaries spread their faith across India, including the Baptist minister William Carey. Known as the father of modern missions, he translates the Bible into 7 Indian languages. But Christian missionaries are disliked by many Hindus and Muslims. This anger helps cause the Great Indian Uprising against British rule in 1857. This is the age of heroic missionaries, men and women who take long and dangerous journeys to save souls in faraway lands. Scottish missionary David Livingstone is perhaps the most famous. The first European to reach many parts of Central Africa and to discover and name Victoria Falls. There are others, Adoniram and Ann Judson, who spend almost 40 years as missionaries in Burma, and Mary Slessor in Nigeria, who learns the local language, Efik, to preach Christianity. In 1884, American Presbyterians arrive in Korea, bringing Western medicine and Christianity. The new religion grows quickly. Today, nearly a third of South Koreans are Christian. In the 1880s, European nations begin the Scramble for Africa, a colonial division of the last independent African states. By 1914, they control 90% of the continent, bringing Christianity with them. China had until then largely resisted Christianity, with only about 100,000 converts by the start of the 20th century. There had even been a violent reaction against Christianity, the Boxer Rebellion, when thousands of Chinese Christians were killed. But large missionary efforts after 1900 lead to the building of thousands of churches and about 4 million Chinese converts by 1945. In the 20th century, the rise of communism becomes a major threat to Christianity and other religions. Communist governments in the Soviet Union and Central and Eastern Europe break apart the church and limit worship. But Christianity proves to be more lasting. When those governments fall, Christian churches return with public support. Even in 20th Communist China, there are today many millions of Christians, despite strict state control. For nearly 2,000 years, the impact of many missionaries and colonizers has helped spread the Christian religion across the world. Today, there are 2.3 billion Christians, nearly 1/3 of the world's population, living and worshiping in almost every country on earth. For people of the Christian faith, another faith, or none, it has clearly been one of the most amazing journeys in history. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of Christianity, then we strongly recommend the channel Religion for Breakfast. Religion for Breakfast is dedicated to exploring human beliefs and rituals throughout history. Their latest video explores the interesting Coptic Orthodox Church, tracing its beginnings in the 1st century AD, explaining its beliefs, and showing the lives of the Coptic community in modern Egypt. Other videos cover everything from ancient Padantuatip, scriptures and the religions of lost civilizations, to modern belief systems like atheism and apocalyptic AI stories. And if you want to watch all these right now, the streaming service Nebula is the place to go. On Nebula, you can watch more than 100 videos from Religion for Breakfast, without ads, plus bonus interviews and special Nebula content, including tours of ancient sites like the Red Basilica, Sardis Synagogue, and the huge Temple of Rameses III. Nebula is built and chosen by creators like us, which means you are guaranteed to find high-quality videos made by real people about fascinating topics. The Epic History page includes our back catalog, plus regular Nebula First videos, meaning you get to see our newest documentaries long before they appear on YouTube. There are more than 200 creators on Nebula, covering all kinds of topics. So whether you want original movies and entertainment, or documentaries about everything from film and gaming to science and engineering, you are sure to find something you will enjoy. Plus, there is a great and growing collection of Nebula Originals, available only to subscribers, and we have an exclusive discount for viewers. The link in our video description gives you 40% off Nebula's yearly plan. That is just $36 a year, or $3 a month. Even better, the Nebula Lifetime Plan offers lifetime access with no conditions for $300. Thanks to all our current Nebula subscribers and to everyone else watching, we hope to see you there soon. Special thanks to our historical consultant, Professor David Parnell of Indiana University Northwest. And thank you, as always, to the Patreon supporters who helped make this possible. From builders such as Lee Jiang, Richard Blakeney Williams, and Vren55, to citizens like Vince Mu, Tim Salt, and Chris Frey, and heroes like Noah S. Join them by joining us on Patreon, where you will get early, ad-free access to new videos, special updates, and votes on future video topics.